fun.
Yeah, great. Is that where we want to cut? Um, Today has been a very long day for me, and I had two of my very first clients,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. So good. It's just like filling my cup and just the most purposeful way. Like I just absolutely love it. Doing like the somatic EMDR basically is what we're focusing on. And I've got another one tomorrow, and he's an older gentleman in his 70s, and he's very, very excited about it. Like
Cool.
could like not wait. He was like, I don't want to wait like weeks. And he's old school. So he's like, I can't do this like technology virtual stuff. And he's like, is there any way we can meet and just get started right away? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like we can get going. And he's just like, I'm just really excited because he's never heard of it before. He's never heard of EMDR, and he's got he's got a trauma background, so it's like he's got some things that are living in his nervous system that he really wants out, just to work out and stuff like that. But
It's so
yeah, I'm seeing him tomorrow, but I'm pooped. I'm so tired, so it's like I have to keep reminding myself to like keep that balance, take care of myself.
because you are
Um,
a freaking doer. And I just
I
want to
am.
say, I am so inspired and impressed by the shit that you've got done in the last month or two.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
You know,
it's pretty
like
crazy.
it looks amazing. You're doing this training, you've got clients. It's really, 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 really cool. I do want to remind you to look after yourself and keep it
Yes,
sustainable. But look,
yes.
you're just rocking it.
Yeah, thanks, thanks. I think 3 to 4 clients right now is perfect.
Mm.
I don't want I don't want to get much bigger than that. I want to, because like I've told them, I'm like, I've kind of grandfathered you guys in because um, I am in the process of still getting my certification. So I'm not giving you guys like a flat rate. So the people that are lucky enough to get me before the certification, it's just donation based, whatever feels good in their soul.
Mm.
That's what I want them to do. And I'm like, you're just kind of lucky. You're coming in at the very beginning, and you're helping me as much as I'm helping you because I'm like practicing all this stuff that I'm learning. But yeah, like you said, I do have to be very, very careful about taking care of myself. Like it is like utmost priority of like, okay, now I have to turn off.
Yeah.
Like I have to
And probably do
disconnect.
a little bit less than you think you can do.
It's always less.
Yeah.
It's always less. Yeah.
It's it just
I'll have a list of like, I don't know, I'll have a list of like, oh, I want to get these 6 things done. And then honestly, it's 2 or 3. Like that's the reality is that is what's feasible.
yeah, because it's
Um,
really easy
me
once you start feeling better to get
totally.
distracted by the shiny things and direct your
Yeah.
energy towards those, and then to deprioritize your health and well-being.
Yeah.
And funny quote, which is sort of along these lines, but not really. So my brother-in-law has got 60 dogs. Yes, 60, right? So my
Oh my
husband and I were talking about this the other day, and
God.
my other brother-in-law,
Quarter.
and my other
Yeah.
brother-in-law goes, he goes, friends don't let friends get 60 dogs. So that just reminded me saying to you, like friends don't let friends get 60 dogs. Do,
6 things in a
dog
day.
ragged.
Yeah. I know it's a whole different mindset. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's a whole different mindset than pre-COVID Erin has to have a whole different train of thought. That is for sure.
Yeah.
So
And that's, like for me, chronic illness has been such an invitation to look at how I was in the world.
yeah.
Because knowing that if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you always got, right?
Yeah.
So looking at how I was in the world and how that led me to develop chronic fatigue and then the RA thing, and then thinking, what can I change? How can I
Mm-hmm.
look after myself better? How can I honor myself better? How can I be a little bit more self-loving, a little bit more self-compassionate? How can I
Yeah.
be differently in the world in a way that's really health sustaining, that allows me to thrive? Because I wasn't thriving before. I mean, I reckon I've been pretty tired for decades, basically since I started teaching. Um, well, yeah, at the high school and the primary, the other teaching, not the health and wellness teaching. But
Yeah.
it's such a hard job.
Oh, it is such a
You know,
hard job.
so
Yeah.
hard to, like, you have to just have rock solid boundaries. And even if you
Mhm.
have rock solid boundaries and huge self-care, it's still really hard. I still
Still
think
really
we're
hard.
just sort of sustaining things. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't actually know any teachers that are thriving, really.
Yeah. Hard.
I don't think that have got really balanced lives where they're really thriving.
Yeah, it's hard because I mean, really, I mean, when you talk about the productivity of like what's realistic to do in a day and how I like say like if I have a list of 6 things, it ends up what my body can physically handle right now is like probably 2 or 3. A
Yeah.
teacher's asked to do like 40 things in a day, like
Oh,
probably more than
and now
probably more.
an hour
You
ago,
know,
before
yeah,
the bell, like we're on bells.
yeah. At
Have
any given time,
jobs.
yeah, at any given time, you're doing like 8 things at one time. Like
Yeah,
you're just
and
like
there's
juggling.
another 150 going, oh, I've got to
Brain.
do this and this.
It is intense. Yeah, it's intense. And
Mm.
I don't think even at our younger ages when we were more active and you know, um, you know,
Yeah, it's like you have,
still able to have babies and stuff, I still think we were teachers have it doesn't matter even the age. I just think that they're just asked to do the inhumane, really like
oh
the
yeah,
in
like
yeah.
even if you
It's
were 20 years old,
yes.
ovulating and on ecstasy, you'd
It's
have
too
a hard
much.
time doing it day in,
That's too much.
day out,
Yeah.
week in, week out.
You yeah, I just kind of questioned that it's like I kind of called it the martyr syndrome. Like I was willing to have the martyr syndrome for so many, many years, but that adds up, that collectively drains the battery, So I just I like people in the chronic illness world, they'll talk about, and I've talked about this, how like, this one event happened and then like out of the blue or out of thin air, this just happened. But there had to have been something boiling for
I
the lid to blow off, right? Like there were things. It wasn't just
think it's
I went,
either a nice.
things were great. Like I will say, like, before I got sick, like things were actually quite great. Like I was going to Costa Rica and I was going to these like raw vegan fruit retreats and I was feeling really great and stuff like that. But it wasn't just the food, like food isn't necessarily just the only component of health. There's other aspects of it that I think were a part of that like straw that broke the camel's back, like stress, emotional stress, work stress, um,
I mean, I don't
yeah,
know
lack of
about you, but I
boundaries.
used to go to bed at night and I'd be thinking about Bob and Mary and this student and that student. Oh, I've got to check in with them about that. I've got to do this and that. And for me, I just brain fuck
Very, oh
myself
yeah,
all the fucking
yes,
time. And,
yeah,
that's still a tendency that I live with today. And I
oh
have
sure, to
really
watch it,
dial it in. And it doesn't take
yes.
much for that stress physiology to actually come back.